That one, I'm sure they're tuned in tonight. Now, we're so lucky in this area to have some beautiful wildlife on our doorstep, whether it's the seals at Donanook or puffins at Bempton. But we are being reminded about keeping our distance from the animals. Last year, there were almost 200 cases of wildlife being disturbed. Our environment correspondent Paul Murphy reports on what's being done to stop that.
The Humber estuary has some of the richest marine habitats in the UK. But the problem of wildlife disturbance is a growing one. People, their pets and their boats getting too close to sensitive sites and wildlife.
The salt marsh that we...
Operation Seabird is primarily about raising public awareness of this impact.
Last year we received over 190 reports of wildlife disturbance from around the Humber estuary, and that ranged from very, very obvious things such as off-roading and people just getting way too close to animals and disturbing them directly. But then also we get a lot of things which is sort of less obvious, such as dogs off lead or people just not giving wildlife enough space.
And dragonflies glint in the early morning sun.
Our fascination with the natural world is growing, as the popularity of the Sir David Attenborough epic Wild Isles has demonstrated. But conservationists don't want the Humber's wild sites to be treated like a theme park.
A lot of people come to the coast, especially during the holiday period, and have a wonderful walk. You can walk for miles along the coast, but it's just being aware that there are other users of the coast. The wildlife, it's their home, and they need the space to be able to breed, to be able to feed, and you can't always do that if you're constantly being disturbed by dog walkers or holiday makers.
An analyst looks at all the data, identifies where the problem areas are.
And Operation Seabird is being backed up by the threat of police enforcement where necessary.
This weekend there was some off-road motorcycles down here riding all over the footpaths. I mean, this SSSI site, there's lots of signs around saying you can't ride your motorbikes and don't do this, and they're just ignored, and those are the people that we will prosecute.
Operation Seabird began in East Yorkshire and is now being copied around the country. A sign, say conservationists, that people are prepared to listen to the advice about making room for our precious wildlife. Paul Murphy, BBC Look North at Saltfleet in Lincolnshire.
Let's hope the message gets through. Thank you for watching tonight, Tuesday night. Tonight's photograph, keep them coming in, by the way. David Thompson took this of Central Park in Scunthorpe, and there's a squirrel hiding his nuts, as they say. Right, good evening to you.